Hello students, welcome to all your scholar classes. So today I will be taking the third part of chapter 8 from class 6 science, that is the body movements. Okay, so in part 1 and part 2 you have seen that we have discussed about bones and cartilage. Bones and skeleton we have seen different in part 1 and part 2. We have seen that our skeleton is made up of bones, joints. Okay, so joints we have discussed in part 1, bones we have discussed in part 2. Okay, you can refer my part 1 and part 2 of the video if you want to study about joints. Go in part 1, and for bones you go in part 2. Now what happens ki human skeleton, if you will see this human skeleton is made up of bones, joints, cartilage and muscles. Main are these. So we have already discussed about bones and joints. We have seen the types of bones and joints. In this part we are going to discuss cartilage. Okay? Cartilage we will discuss what is muscles. Then a short definition of tendon and ligaments also we will see. Okay, what is tendon and ligament? So we have seen the movement in human. Now in this video we are going to see movement in other animals. Okay, we have seen how human beings they move, which part they use to move. We walk like this or we run using our legs. So in other animals like earthworm, snail, cockroaches, birds, fish and snakes. These animals we are going to discuss that how they move, which part of the body helps them to move from one place to another. Okay, so first we will start with cartilage. Let's start. So after bones and joints, we are going to discuss about cartilage. So we have seen that bones are very hard, joints are the parts which joins two of the bones. Okay. Now what is cartilage? Cartilage is very smooth. Okay. Soft tissues they are. Smooth, soft tissues and they are very flexible. Flexible means they are very elastic. Okay. You can contract them or you can relax them. Okay, so cartilage is smooth, flexible and soft tissue. These cartilage they connect bones together. Okay, different bones are being connected together because of this cartilage. Okay, so these cartilage I have told you that they are soft, but if we compare it with the skin, they are harder than skin. Okay, but if we compare it with bones, they are softer than bones. Okay, so these soft cartilage are softer than bones but harder than a skin. This skin से जो हमारी skin है उससे hard होते हैं, लेकिन हमारे जो bones हैं अंदर उनसे ये soft होते हैं. Okay. Now the question is, where are they available? If you see the upper part of your ear or the upper part of your nose, these cartilages are present. Okay? So upper part of the ear they are present, nose also they are present. So now the question is, do you see any difference between your earlobe? This is your earlobe, just touch it. And then you touch this portion, the upper portion of your ear. Do you feel any difference? You are going to see that this lobe is very soft, but this your upper part is bit harder. Although it's harder, but it is not very hard like a bone. You can bend it. You can bend it easily, but can you bend your bone? No, you can't bend it. Okay? So this upper part of the ear is not as soft as the earlobe. Okay, but it is not as hard as the bone compare it with a bone. But if you want to break your bone, can you break it? No, you can't, because bones are not elastic, they are not flexible. Okay, so the best example for cartilage is this upper part of the ear. Look how I can bend it. You can also try it. The lobes are very soft, but these are a bit harder than the lobes, but not as hard as a bone. Okay, so what is cartilage? Cartilage is a smooth, flexible, means very elastic. Flexibility is there. Look, they are so flexible, and is soft tissues. Okay, soft tissues. Fine. Next, if we compare these cartilage with our bone, it is soft than a bone. But if we compare it with a skin, it is harder than a skin. Okay, so cartilage are harder than a skin, but soft than a bone. Fine. Now the question is, where you can see your cartilage? The upper part of the ear. It is the best example. Okay, so example is the upper part of the ear. You can try it by yourself also. You see your earlobe is very soft, but if you compare it with the upper part is a bit harder, but it is flexible. You can bend it easily. So this is what? This is cartilage. Okay, so this was about cartilage. It is smooth, flexible and soft. Cartilage are harder than the skin, but softer than a bone. Best example is the upper part of ear. Remember, only the upper part of the ear is made up of cartilage, not this lower part. This lobe, it is not a cartilage. Okay. So next we shall see muscles. What is muscles? Okay, so after discussing bone, joints and cartilage, let's see what is muscles. Muscles are the bulges. Okay, why they bulge out? Because of the contraction. Okay, it becomes smaller in length, so it bulges out. Okay, when contracted, these muscles get shorter. Okay, stiffer and thicker. Thick also they get. Okay, it pulls the bone. Now let's see example of a muscle. When you work out, you just make your face like this and just try to make it. Here you will see that your upper arm bulges out. It bulges out. Okay, why it bulges out? Due to contraction. You are doing a contraction. Okay, it becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. Okay, so it pulls the bone. It is pulling the bone. These muscles, they pulls the bone. So the muscles work in a pair. If one is contracting, the other one is relaxing. And the moment the other one is contracted, the first one is relaxing. So they work in pair. Okay. So muscles work out in pair, contraction, relaxation. Now the second one is contracting, and the first one is relaxing. Okay. So two muscles have to work together to move a bone. When you move your bone, two muscles are going to work together. Okay. So talk about the number of muscles attached to the various bones of our body, we know that these muscles are attached to our bones. So there are 650 muscles that are attached to the various bones of our body. So muscles are what? They are attached to the bones of our body. Okay? Next, what happens? These muscles, they bulge. Why they bulge? Due to contraction. Okay? Muscles bulges. Okay? They are going to bulge due to contraction. Fine? And when they are going to bulge, it becomes smaller in length. Okay? Like this, you will see that muscles is this much long. If you contract it, it is going to bulge and it is going to be small. Okay? So gets smaller in length. Fine? So this was then. Now I would like to tell you that these muscles, they work in pair. Okay? So muscles work in pair to carry out and carries out contraction, relaxation. Contraction, relaxation. Okay? Muscles work in pair and carry out contraction and relaxation. Okay? Now two muscles have to work together to move a bone. If we want to move a bone, two muscles, they are going to work together. Okay? So one is contracting, the other one is relaxing. Now this one is relaxing and other one is contracting. Okay? So suppose this is a bone and you have to move this bone. So suppose this is muscle 1, this is muscle 2. So firstly, this muscle 1 is going to contract. So when this muscle 1 will contract, muscle 2 will relax. Okay? Two muscles are working together. Now this is going to relax, muscle 1, and muscle 2 is going to contract. So you can see how they are working in pair. They are working in pair. Okay? So the muscles, two muscles work together. Okay? Two muscles work together to move a bone. Fine? Now if we talk about the number of muscles, there are 650 muscles attached to various bones in our body. How many muscles? 650 muscles are attached, okay, to the various bones in our body. Okay? So this was about muscles. Muscles are attached to the bones of our body. Muscles bulge due to contraction, means they are going to get smaller in length. Muscles work in pair, carry out contraction, relaxation. Okay? Contraction, relaxation. Contraction, relaxation. Two muscles work together to move a bone. And there are 650 muscles in our body that are attached to the various bones. Okay? So this was about muscles. So we have seen cartilage and we have seen muscles also. What is tendon? We will see only the definition of a tendon and muscle. Okay, so these tendons, they join muscles to the bone. How muscles and bones are attached together is called tendons. Okay, so tendons joins muscles to the bones. Next is ligament. What is ligament? So these ligaments, they join two bones. Bone 1, bone 2 is joined through a connector, that is a ligament. Joins two bones. Okay. So we have seen bones, joints, muscles, cartilage, tendons and ligaments. Okay, so all of these, what they constitute? They constitute a human skeleton. Okay, so this was about human beings. Now the question is कि different animals, how do they move? So now we are going to see the movement in different animals. Okay, so let's start with that. So now we will see the movement in other animals. Okay, we have already discussed the movement in human beings. Now we are going to see the movement in other animals. So in humans we have seen that these muscles and these bones, they are required for the movement. What we have seen? Muscles plus bones. This helps in the movement. Fine. Now the question is that are muscles and bones always required for the movement? क्या हमेशा movement के लिए ये muscles और bones की requirement होती है? Okay. और how do these other animals move? Do all animals have bones? क्या सारे animals के पास bones होते हैं? ये जो bones हैं, क्या ये सारे animals के पास होते हैं? अगर हम bones की बात करें तो earthworm, snail, क्या इनके पास bones होते हैं? We are going to study about them. We will get to know the answer. No, earthworm don't have a bone. Okay, so it is not necessary that these muscles and bones help in movement and they are present in all the animals. Okay, so in other animals we are going to study that their movement is in some other manner. Okay, the manner of movement is somewhat different as compared to human beings. Okay, so first we will discuss the movement in earthworm. Okay, so earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. You must have seen a structure of earthworm. It's somewhat like this. These rings are joined end to end and it makes a body of a earthworm. So this earthworm is made up of many rings are there. Some earthworms are very long, some are small in size. So these rings are attached end to end. Okay, so these earthworms, they do not have bones. If you have seen sometimes the earthworm, you see that they seem very different, the sticky types and different types. They don't have any bones. It has got only muscles. Okay, so earthworm don't have any bones, they have only muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. Okay, these muscles, they help them to sometimes to extend their body or sometimes they shorten their body. You must have seen that. These earthworms, when they walk like this. They expand their body, then they shorten their body. Expand and shorten. Okay, so during movement, the earthworm first extends its body. Okay, front part, जो body का front part है, उसको extend करेगी. Okay, and by keeping the back portion, that is the rear portion, fixed to the ground. जो front portion है earthworm का, उसको ये extend करेगी और जो back portion है, उसको ground से स्टिक रखेगी, ग्राउंड से चिपका के रखेगी. ओके, फिर फर्दर वो क्या करेगी? फर्दर इट इज गोइंग टू फिक्स इट्स फ्रंट एंड रिलीजेस द रियर एंड. ठीक है, तो इस तरीके से उनकी वॉकिंग होती है. ओके, सो इट इज देन शॉर्टन्स द बॉडी एंड पुल्स रियर एंड फॉरवर्ड. ओके, shortens its body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes the earthworm to move for a small distance, repeating such muscle expansion, contraction, expansion and contraction. The earthworm are able to move through soil. You must have seen that these earthworms, they can move through soils. So if you talk about earthworm, the first thing is that it is made up of many rings joined end to end. Okay, made up of many rings which are joined end to end, as I have shown you in the diagram. Next, earthworms don't have muscles. They have only, don't have bones. They have only muscles. Don't have bones. They have only muscles. Okay. So now, what is going to happen that these muscles, it's help the earthworm to extend and shorten the body. Okay, so muscles helps the earthworm to extend and shorten its body. Fine. Now what is going to happen during this movement, as I have already told you, first they extend their front end. Okay, and they keep their rear end fixed to the ground. Okay, so during movement they extend their front end and keeps fixed its rear and stick to the ground, and keeps fixed its rear means the back end, back portion of the body, rear and fixed to the ground. Fine. Next, what is going to happen? पहले तो पहले के पोर्शन को एक्सटेंड किया, पीछे के पोर्शन को फिक्स रखे. नेक्स्ट क्या करेंगे ये लोग? फ्रंट एंड को फिक्स करेंगे और पीछे के पोर्शन को रिलीज करेंगे. ओके. नेक्स्ट, they will keep, okay, they fixes their front end keeping the rear fixed, then extending the back end and keeping the front fixed. This makes the movement in a small distance. Repeating such muscle expansion and contraction, the earthworm can move into a soil. Okay, I hope this is going to be clear how they move into a soil. पहले front end को fix रखेंगे, पहले front को move करेंगे, extend करेंगे और back को fix रखेंगे. बाद में front को fix रखेंगे और back को release करेंगे. Okay, so now this earthworm's body, it secretes some slimy substances. Okay, these earthworms, they secrete some slimy substances which help them in movement. That slimy substance help them in movement. Okay, so under its body, if you see from the lower end of the earthworm, under its body, there are some tiny bristles. Okay, what are that bristles? Bristles are like hair-like structure. एक hair-like structure होता है जिनको हम bristles बोलते हैं lower portion earthworm के. Okay, और वो projected out होते हैं. Okay, so these bristles, they connect with muscles. जो earthworm की muscles हैं उनसे ये bristles connected रहते हैं और इन bristles का क्या function होता है, जो ये ground पे चलते हैं earthworm, तो they help them to grip the ground, gripping के लिए. Okay, these bristles help them to grip the ground. Okay, so these earthworms, if we talk that what do they eat, so they actually eats soil. Okay, the earthworm actually eats its way through a soil. Its body then throw out, when it eats soil, its body then throw out the undigested part material that it eats. Okay, so this activity of a soil is very useful for plants. It helps in the fertility. So sometimes you must have seen that sometimes farmers, what they do, they allow these earthworms to grow in their field. Okay, this is because that helps to increase the fertility of a soil, which is good for plants. Okay, so the body of the earthworm, it secretes a slimy substance. What it secretes? Body of earthworm secretes. Okay, what it is going to secrete? It is going to secrete a slimy substance. A slimy substance which helps in movement. Okay, तो एक बात तो ये होगी कि slimy substance secrete करता है जो कि movement में help करता है. दूसरी बात ये है कि under its body they have got a large number of tiny bristles. Okay, under its body there is a large number of tiny bristles. What are these tiny bristles? They are a hair-like. Okay, it's a hair-like substance, hair-like structure that is projected out. Okay, it is projecting out. So now, what is the function of this bristle? If we talk about, they are connected to the muscles, and these bristles helps earthworm to form to get a good grip. Good grip किससे बना है वो? Ground से. Good grip on the ground. Okay. So earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. the earthworm to extend and shorten its body. During movement, they extend their, पहले क्या करेंगे, extend their front end और fix its rear end. ठीक है, फिर क्या होगा? They fixes their front and releases the rear end. Now, these earthworms, they secrete a slimy substance which helps them in movement. Okay, and under its body there is a large number of tiny bristles, which is a hair-like structure that is projecting out, which helps the earthworm to get a good grip on the ground. That's why it is able to walk very smoothly on a ground. ग्राउंड पे किस वजह से वॉक कर सकते हैं? इन ब्रिस्टल्स की वजह से। ये जो प्रोजेक्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, टाइनी ब्रिस्टल्स हैं, उनकी वजह से ये अर्थ पे बहुत अच्छे से मूव कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट इज दैट दे ईट सॉइल। ओके, और जब ये ईट करेंगे तो जो अनडाइजेस्टेड मटेरियल है, अनडाइजेस्टेड मटेरियल दैट दे ईट, the body throws out undigested material, they throw in the soil, and this undigested material that has been thrown by this earthworm is very useful for plants. Okay, so this was how these earthworms they do their movement. They don't walk like us, okay? The way we walk, like our legs, they don't walk. They even don't have any kind of bones. They have only muscles, okay? And they contract and relax their body during the movement, and they have got some tiny bristles on the lower portion of their body, which helps them to move further, okay? And their body also secretes some slimy substance that helps it to grip, have a good grip with the ground. Okay, so this was for the earthworm. Next we will see how a snail moves. Next, let's see about the snake. So, if we talk about a snail, you must remember, if you remember the body of a snail, you must have seen that if a snail, some round structure is present on its top of the body. Okay? So, a round structure that is present on the top of a snail that it carries on its back is called cell. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Cell. जो बॉडी में उसके ग्राउंड सेल स्ट्रक्चर ऊपर होता है, उसको we call it as a cell. Okay. So the round structure that a snail carries on its back is called cell. It is a hard structure, that's why it is being named as cell. So the outer skeleton of this snail, it is the outer skeleton, you can say, of a snail, but not made up of bone. So like earthworms, they are also not made up of bones. Okay. So a thick structure, that is, you can see there is a thick structure that you can say is the foot of a snail and the head of a snail, the front portion, the head of a snail and a thick foot foot of a snail comes out of an opening in the cell which helps them in the movement. Okay, so इस सेल पे ही आएगा एक जो इनका हेड है और दूसरा की फूट की एक ओपनिंग आती है, यही इनको मूवमेंट में हेल्प करती है स्नेल्स को. ओके, सो इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द स्नेल, द फर्स्ट थिंग अबाउट द स्नेल इज दैट the round structure present on the back, or you can say the round structure that a snail carries on its back is called cell. Okay, second thing is that it's the outer skeleton, these cells, but it is not made up of bones. It's the outer skeleton but not made of bone. So now if you talk about the movement in a snail, how the movement takes place, the movement in a snail which helps the foot. Okay, snail का जो foot है एक thick structure होता है जो कि foot है. Okay, काफी thick होता है, इनका जो foot होता है वो काफी thick होता है. प्लस क्या करता है, हेड ऑफ द स्नेल, हेड ऑफ द स्नेल. व्हाट हैपेंस, इट कम्स आउट ऑफ एन ओपनिंग, कम्स आउट ऑफ एन ओपनिंग, ओके, in the cell which helps in the movement. So there is not much to study about the snail. The only thing we can know about the snail is about its cell that is present on the back of its body. It is not again having any bone like the way the earthworms don't have any bone. And if we talk about its movement, the foot, that is a thick structure, plus the head of the snail, they come out of an opening in the cell that is present on the top of the body which helps in the movement. So we have seen earthworm and snails, they don't have any kind of bones. Now let's see what type of movement these cockroaches do. Okay, next we will see cockroaches. Okay, so these cockroaches, they have got a special character that they can walk. You have seen these cockroaches, they are walking, they can climb. You must have seen that they are climbing even on the walls. Okay, and sometimes you have seen that these cockroaches can fly also in the air. So they can climb, walk and fly in the air. Okay, so these cockroaches, they have got 3 pairs of legs which help them in walking. How they do walking? With their 3 pairs of legs. Okay, like this they have got 1, 2 and 3 pairs of legs which help them to walk. Okay, so the body of this cockroach is covered with a hard outer skeleton. Okay, there is a hard outer skeleton. The outer skeleton is then made up of number of plates that are joined together and they permits the movement. Okay, the outer skeleton permits the movement. Okay, so there are 2 pairs of wings. First we have seen that they have 3 pairs legs which help them to walk. Now they have got 2 pairs of wings. How many wings? 2 pairs of wings. Okay? So this pair of wing is attached behind their head. Suppose this is the head and behind their head they have got 2 pairs of wings which helps them to fly. Okay? So the cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the legs for walking. Okay? They have these legs muscles which help them for walking. These muscles of the wings, these help the cockroaches to fly. Okay? So the very good feature, for the important feature about the cockroach is that these cockroaches, okay, these cockroaches, they can walk, they can climb and fly in the air. Fine. Next is that they have got 3 pairs of legs. Okay, how many pairs of legs? 3 pairs of legs. 3 pairs of legs they have got. These legs, they help them in walking. Okay? This 3 pairs of legs the cockroaches have got helps them to walk. And they have got 2 pairs of wings. 2 pairs of wings attached behind the head. Okay? And these pairs of wings helps to fly. Fine. So 2 pairs of wings that are attached behind the head, and the body muscles move the wings when the cockroaches flies. The body muscles of the wings moves when they fly. And these cockroaches have a distinct muscles, those near their legs that help move, which help them to walk. Okay, so now their body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. Body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. Okay, so this skeleton is made up of number of plates together, and that permits movement. Okay, तो हार्ड आउटर स्केलेटन है, इन स्केलेटन की वजह से इनमें मूवमेंट्स होते हैं. So cockroaches can walk, climb and fly. They have got 3 pairs of legs which help in walking, 2 pairs of wings attached behind the head which help them to fly. Body is covered with the hard outer skeleton which helps in the movement. तो इसमें मूवमेंट कैसे होता है? इस स्केलेटन जो आउटर हार्ड स्केलेटन है उसकी वजह से इसमें मूवमेंट होता है कॉकरोचेस में. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट वी शैल सी बर्ड्स. So all of you must have seen birds. So what do you see in a bird? You see that they have got 2 pairs, 1 pair of legs. You can see in the birds, and you can also see that they have got wings also. Birds के पास legs भी होते हैं और wings भी होती हैं. Okay? Next we are going to talk about birds. Okay, so if we talk about birds, birds can fly in the air and and they can walk in the ground because they have wings also and they have legs also. So wings helps them to fly in the air and legs helps them to walk on the ground. Okay. So some birds like ducks and swans, they can even swim. You must have seen that ducks swims in water or swans swim in water. Okay. So birds can fly because their body is suited for flying. How their body is suited for flying? Because their bones, birds have bones. It is not boneless like the way earthworm and snail are there. They have bones, but it's very hollow and light. Bones are very hollow and light. The bones of hind limbs are typically for walking. You must have seen they have one pair of legs which helps them walking. Okay. And the bony part of the forelimb are modified as a wing. Okay. The front modified, they are modified as a wing. So the shoulder bones are strong. Shoulder bones of the birds are strong where the wings are there so that they can fly high. The breast bones are modified to hold muscles of flight, okay, which can be used to move wings up and down. Okay. So if we talk about birds, the first thing about bird is that birds have got bones. Bones तो होती हैं, but इनकी bones कैसी होती हैं? Bones are very hollow and lightweight. Bones are very hollow and light in weight. Light-weighted. Okay? Hollow and light-weighted होती हैं, लेकिन इनके पास bones होती हैं. अब birds can fly. Fly कैसे करती हैं birds? By their wings. Now birds are there. They can walk on the ground. How can they walk? They have got legs. And some birds swims in water. Like you can see ducks are there, swans are there. Ducks and swan, they swim in water. Okay? तो तीन कैटेगरी होती है बर्ड्स में. एक तो विंग्स भी होती हैं उनके पास, लेग्स भी होती हैं. कुछ ऐसे भी बर्ड्स हैं जो कि स्विम कर सकती हैं जैसे कि डक्स हैं, स्वैन्स हैं. ओके. So bones are very hollow and light weighted and are typically for walking, which helps them to walk. Okay. So birds have got a very bony part of the forelimb are modified as a wing. तो wing क्या है? जो bony part है of the forelimb. Bony part of the forelimb. Okay, it is modified as wings. Bony part of the forelimbs, it is modified as the wings. The shoulder bones are strong. Okay, shoulder bones भी होती हैं उनके पास, वो strong होती हैं. दो breast bones हैं, वो modified हैं for the flights which they use to wing up and down. Okay, so shoulder bones हैं, breast bones हैं और forelimbs की bones हैं. Okay, so this was about birds. Next we shall see about fishes. So next we are going to see the movement in fishes. Okay, how these fish, they show a movement. So if you see a fish, the head and tail of the fish are smaller as compared to the middle body. You must have seen the head is very small and the tail is also small of a fish. It's like this, tail is there, the middle body is big. Okay, and again this is small. The head and tail are smaller as compared to this middle body. Okay, so the body is tapered at both the end. Okay, tapering होती है, tapered होती है body both the end में. इस body shape को क्या बोलते हैं? Streamline. Okay, streamline body shape होती है. ठीक है. अब ऐसी बॉडी क्यों होती है फिश की? फिश कहाँ होती है? वाटर में होती है. और फिश क्या करती है? It swims, it flows in the water. So the shape of fish is such that it can flow easily or it can move easily in a water. Okay? So this skeleton of a fish is covered with strong muscles. Fish has got strong muscles. The skeleton of the fish is covered with strong muscles. So during swimming, muscles make the front part of the body curve. जब swim करती हैं fish, तो muscles क्या करती हैं? जो front part of the body है उसको curve कर लेती हैं to one side and the tail part slides opposite. Okay? So the fish forms a curve. Curve बनाती है fish ऐसे और it swims. Okay, this helps them to swim. Then quickly the body and the tail curve to the other side. फिर दूसरे side पे curves बनाते हैं ये. So like this they keep on swimming. This makes a jerk and pushes the body forward. Okay, both sides से jerk जब curves बनेंगे तो एक jerk लगेगा body को और वो body को push करती है और क्या होगा कि fish keep on swimming. The series of such jerks makes the fish to swim ahead, go ahead. Okay, so this is helped by the fins of the tail. Swimming जो ऐसे होती है jerk के through, वो जो tails वाली fins हैं उनके through होती है. ठीक है, आपने देखा होगा कि tails की तो जो fins हैं there is यहाँ पे body middle body में भी fins होती हैं. Okay, these fishes they have got some other fins also in the body which mainly helps them to balance the body. तो ये जो fish है ये helps them to move forward. Okay, tail वाले जो fins हैं ये movement में help करते हैं और जो body middle body के fins हैं they help them to balance the body and keep the direction while swimming. Okay. तो फिश की जो बॉडी होती है वो कैसी होती है? स्ट्रीमलाइन. ओके, स्ट्रीमलाइन बॉडी. स्ट्रीमलाइन बॉडी. स्ट्रीमलाइन बॉडी का क्या मतलब है कि हेड और टेल तो स्मॉल होगा. हेड एंड टेल आर स्मॉलर than the middle body. Okay, middle body के comparison में head और tail small होगा, उसको बोलेंगे streamline body. That is a streamline body. तो such ऐसा streamline body ऐसा shape क्यों है? Because it helps the body to move in water. Okay, so helps the body to flow and move in water. Okay? और दूसरी चीज क्या है कि जो skeleton है fish की that is covered with strong muscles. Okay? The skeleton of fish is covered with strong muscles. Okay, and swimming के टाइम क्या होता है? During swimming, the muscles in the front end of the body makes a curve on the one side, and the tail part slides towards the opposite. This forms a curve. उसके बाद next curves बनाएंगे. इसकी वजह से body में jerks लगती हैं and that allows it to move forward. Okay. Now the main thing is that the fins of the tail, और दूसरी कौन सी fins है? Fins of the middle body. दो तरीके की fins हैं. ओके, अब जो टेल्स वाली fins हैं वो किस में हेल्प करती हैं? स्विमिंग में. ओके, और जो fins of the middle body है वो किस में हेल्प करती है? बैलेंसिंग. इट हेल्प्स द बॉडी टू बैलेंसिंग. ओके, सो फिश का स्ट्रीमलाइन बॉडी है. ओके, ऐसी बॉडी इसलिए ताकि वो वाटर में आराम से मूव कर सके, फ्लो कर सके. जो स्केलेटन है बॉडी का वो फुली कवर होता है स्ट्रॉन्ग मसल्स में. इनके पास दो फिन्स होती हैं, एक तो टेल वाली फिन्स है और एक मिडिल बॉडी में फिन्स है. टेल वाली फिन्स स्विमिंग में हेल्प करती है, मिडिल बॉडी वाली जो फिन्स हैं वो बैलेंसिंग में हेल्प करती हैं. So next we will see for the snakes. This was about fish, movement of fish. Now the movement of snake. Okay? फिश का मूवमेंट देखिए, फिर स्नेक का देखते हैं. स्नेक्स के पास क्या है? लॉन्ग बैकबोन होती है. ठीक है, एंड दे हैव वेरी थिन मसल्स उनकी बहुत थिन होती है, बट बैकबोन उनके पास बहुत लंबी होती है. सो दे आर कनेक्टेड टू ईच अदर इवन दो दे आर फार फ्रॉम वन अनदर. ओके, सो मसल्स आर इंटरकनेक्ट द backbone, ribs and scales. Okay, so you must have seen that these snakes, they form a curves of loop and they crawl on the body. So snakes have long backbone. Okay, they have a long backbone and they have got many thin muscles. Long backbone और बहुत सारे thin muscles होते हैं. Many thin muscles. These muscles they are connected with each other. Okay, although they are formed. So muscles का क्या काम है? इनके जो muscles हैं ये interconnect करती हैं backbone, ribs and scales को. Okay. Muscles interconnect the backbone, okay, the ribs and the skin. Fine. So the snake body curves into many loops. It forms a many loops. Each loop of the snake gives it a forward push, pressing the ground. जब वो forward push मिलेगा, जब वो ground को press करेंगे तो एक forward push उनको मिलता है. इसकी वजह से इनकी body में long body होती है, तो बहुत सारे loops ही बनाते जाएंगे. So each loops gives them a push. Okay? हर loops बनती जाएगी तो snake इसी वजह से बहुत fast चलता है. आपने देखा होगा, और सिंगल लाइन में नहीं चलता है. स्नेक नेवर इट मूव्स लाइक दिस. इट कैन नेवर मूव लाइक दिस. ओके, सो इट मूव्स लाइक दिस. दे मूव लाइक दिस, जिगजैग एंड दे मूव वेरी फास्ट. क्योंकि बॉडी बहुत लंबी होती है, उनके बहुत सारे लूप्स बनते हैं और जितने लूप्स बनेंगे उतना पुश उनको मिलेगा. ओके, जितना लंबा स्नेक होगा वो उतनी तेजी से भागेगा. ओके, so this was about snakes. So here I complete my part 3. So we have seen the movements in other animals also, like birds, fish, cockroaches, earthworm, snake and all. Okay, so this was all for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please give a like button, and if you have not subscribed our channel Always Color yet, please do subscribe it. You can also go in Google Play There we have got our apps. Yes, e-learning scholar, app of Ollie Scholar. There you can get the interesting videos, PDF notes, MCQ questions, and if you are interested for live classes, we conduct that also. So this was all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching my video. Please see the description box for getting the link of our app. Okay? So thank you and subscribe the channel.